20 miles away in Dallas. It's the Sooners' only loss of this season. They'll try to avenge that today while winning their 4th straight Big 12 title. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Sean McDonough, along with Todd Blackledge, joined in just a moment by Holly Rowe. Delighted to have you with us for the start of a great championship Saturday of college football. Todd, this is as big a game as any in the country today. They're playing for a conference championship, obviously huge for both. But in the case of Oklahoma, now number 5 in the college football playoff rankings, the committee will make their choices this weekend. How does it look, in your opinion, for the Sooners?
They've had struggles on defense, but a historic season on offense that has made them extra special. I really think if all the favorite teams win tonight, Alabama, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Oklahoma's in. All they have to do is win the game today, but that's easier said than done because this Texas team is very capable of winning again.
As they demonstrated on October 6th at the State Fairgrounds in Dallas, it was one of the best games of the season in college football, the highest scoring Red River game ever. Texas won 48-45. Both quarterbacks were tremendous.
They were absolutely terrific. They're both fierce competitors, too. Kyler Murray was brilliant, particularly in the 4th quarter when he almost brought his team all the way back from a 3-touchdown deficit, threw for over 300 yards, had a dazzling 67-yard touchdown run, but he had 2 costly turnovers in the game that were big plays in the
3 conference championships is second most in Big 12 history, a conference that dates back to 1996. Oklahoma has dominated the Big 12 throughout the years. They're trying for their 12th Big 12 title. The Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship on ABC, presented by Jared, will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations. From beautiful AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. First time since 1923 these teams have met outside of the State Fair in Dallas, site of the annual Red River Showdown. Interestingly, Oklahoma won the toss and deferred. Lincoln Riley choosing not to put the nation's best offense out there first, so Austin Seibert kicks off and little Jordan Humphrey takes a knee 1 yard deep. Grew up dreaming of being the Texas quarterback. This is his biggest game as a Longhorn. And he swings it out to little Jordan Humphrey, trying to weave through the traffic, and a nice tackle made by the corner, Trey Norwood.
One of the things that Texas did very well in the first game was use their big receivers, little Jordan Humphrey and Colin Johnson, against these smaller corners for Oklahoma.
And Humphrey 6'4", Johnson is 6'6". They try the run with Trey Watson. And this Oklahoma defense, which has struggled mightily throughout the season, trying to make its point to the College Football Playoff Committee that they are national semifinal worthy. Those are the matchups you talked about, Todd. That could be a problem for Oklahoma.
Yeah, the size advantage certainly favors, particularly on 50-50 type balls.
Trey Watson, the running back, went in motion. Ellinger given plenty of time. Deep ball, and there it is, right on cue. 6'6" Colin Johnson winning the 50-50 ball against 5'10" Trey Brown.
He's in the slot. He gives a little in feint that really froze the defender, and then Sam throws it up for him. And that's what you do when you have that kind of a mismatch on the outside.
32-yard gain. Oklahoma has given up at least 40 points in each of its last 4 games, and they've won all 4. The first team in the history of college football to do that. Ellinger, deep strike down the middle, and just a little bit too high for Colin Johnson, and he was open.
He was wide open. Nobody covered him. If Sam throws this lower, it's a touchdown. Nobody picked up Colin Johnson in the middle of the field, and the ball was overthrown by Ellinger. Oklahoma doing something interesting personnel-wise. They're playing with 3 linebackers on the field, trying to slow down the Texas running game. They left themselves very vulnerable to that throw.
2nd and 10, Texas.
Normally, Oklahoma has played a lot of nickel defense.
Ellinger has a lot of flexibility at the line to change the play. He might have done it there, and That's another touchdown. If he's accurate, he might be a little bit too amped up. At the start of this title game, Lil Jordan Humphrey was open.
Well, watch right here. He's confused. He blitzes late. Nobody picks up Lil Jordan Humphrey, and 2 plays in a row. Major breakdowns in the Oklahoma secondary, but Texas not able to capitalize on. You're right. Probably a little bit amped up. That ball just taken off on him. But boy, oh boy, 2 guys running down the middle of the defense, wide open in the first possession.
3rd down and 10. Ellinger running out of time, on target there. Lil Jordan Humphrey stumbles down, but with plenty. Enough for a first down at the 25-yard line of Oklahoma.
Such a big body. I mean, Lil Jordan Humphrey is 6'4", 225 pounds. He's working on Norwood, and he just keeps him away from the football. Does a great job of shielding the defender from the ball and then gaining a couple extra yards after the catch, which he specializes in.
Humphrey, their leading receiver for the year, now with 74 catches. He caught 9 for 138 in their regular season classic win against OU. Trey Watson up the middle for 9. Curtis Bolton made the tackle, 2nd leading tackler for the Sooners.
Watch the block by the H-back right here. Andrew Beck does a nice job of sealing the outside on that inside run. And a nice job picking the spot by Trey Watson.
And on 2nd and 2, Watson yanked down again by Bolton, 5th-year senior. Had an interesting career, mostly a special teams player prior to this year. All of his career starts have come this season, and he's one of the best defensive players on their team.
Very active. They move him around in a lot of spots. And again, this whole first possession now, Oklahoma playing primarily with Bolton, Caleb Kelly, and Kenneth Murray, all 3 linebackers on the field at the same time. They're not playing with a nickel back. Here's Ruffin McNeil, the defensive coordinator here the last 6 games.
Took over for Mike Stoops, who was fired after the loss to Texas. Ellinger not reluctant to run, and he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Texas.
3 touchdowns rushing against them the last time.
Well, interesting start to this game as Kyler Murray gets ready to go to work for Oklahoma. This was the 6th time this season the Sooners have won the opening toss. It's the first time they deferred. You wonder again why you wouldn't put the best offense in the country out there on the field with a good chance to take an early lead rather than a very poor defense with a good chance you're going to be behind. There's Kyler Murray. Chance to make a Heisman Trophy statement. One last one before the voters turn in their ballots this weekend. He handed it off to Trey Sermon, and a tough 9-yard run taken down by Caden Stearns, the defensive newcomer of the year in the Big 12.
Oklahoma, everything they do starts with their running game. Kyler Murray has been spectacular, but this offensive line and their ability to run the football is what sets the table for everything he does.
Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year. Largely because of that skill, the ability to run away from people, even when it looks like there's nowhere for him to go. Brandon Jones got him across the boundary, but it's an Oklahoma first down.
Brandon Jones missed a few games with an ankle injury, had to come out of the Kansas game a week ago with a head injury. They are really happy to have him back because he is their best space tackler, and that's important against a guy like Kyler Murray.
And some of these receivers and running backs who find themselves in open spaces. Oklahoma, the leading scoring team in the country, #1 in total offense, and right on target, Marquise Brown collared, and flags come down as a result of that tackle at the Texas 37-yard line. It was Chris Boyd, first team All Big 12 this year, the corner, who took him down. Reggie Smith is the referee leading this Big 12 officiating crew.
Yeah, he's a Pittsburgh guy. Talked to him a little bit before the game. He was as excited to do the game as we are.
Well, it's an honor.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 2. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down.
Watch Kyler Murray use his eyes to move the safety, Caden Stearns. He looks to the left, moves the safety, then throws back to the other side to Marquise Brown, who had beaten Chris Boyd in coverage. Beautiful work with his eyes that time by Kyler Murray, and there's the penalty at the end of the catch. And Oklahoma in great field position.
At the 22. Averaging 8.9 yards per play this year. That would shatter the single-season FBS record if they finish the season at that number. Some confusion along the offensive line as Murray was trying to communicate
Oklahoma
with the big fellas up front.
calls their first time out of the half.
With 10:05 to go in the first quarter. Inside AT&T Stadium, Oklahoma trying to win its 4th straight Big 12 title. They haven't won 4 conference championships in a row since the mid-'80s under Barry Switzer. Last Power 5 conference school to win 4 conference titles in a row, the Florida Gators in the mid-'90s in the SEC. Texas leading 7-0, but Oklahoma on the move, 1st and 10 at the Texas 22. Murray nowhere to go. It's a loss of a yard as Texas' leading tackler for the year, Gary Johnson, made the stop.
And you see the speed of Gary Johnson. That's going to be important in this game. Here he is right here, but watch how quickly he gets the proper angle and the proper leverage on Kyler Murray. He also has help on the outside by Devontae Davis, the corner, who is in good position as well.
2nd and 11. Trey Sermon, the running back, has been bothered by a left foot and ankle injury in recent weeks. Had just 5 carries in their rousing win at West Virginia a week ago last night. He gets the call. Looking for a hole behind the terrific offensive line. He gets inside the 20. Jeffrey McCulloch made the tackle.
One thing I've learned in the last 3 weeks of being in the Big 12 is you got to get critical stops if you're a defense. This is an opportunity for a critical stop for Texas in the red zone on 3rd down.
The play fake by Kyler Murray. Lots of time to the end zone and broken up and intercepted. Deflected by Brandon Jones into the hands of Caden Stearns. There is a flag now.
Well, prior to the pass, personal foul, face mask, defense number 2. That will be enforced half the distance to the goal from the previous spot. An automatic 1st down.
Wow. Another critical penalty on this drive by the same guy, Chris Boyd.
For the same thing.
Yeah.
Both face mask calls against Chris Boyd, senior from Gilmer, Texas, and 1st team all-conference players we said a moment ago.
He's working on the other side of the field, working on Marquise Brown. There he is at the top of the screen in coverage on Marquise Brown, and as he was feeling himself getting beat, reached that left hand up. And
on we go to inside the 10-yard line.
got to keep an eye on here. This part of the field for Oklahoma is Grant Calcaterra. He's right here in the slot. Kind of a tight end body, but wide receiver skills.
Murray, after the fake to Sermon, directing traffic, fires too high, looking for Grant Calcaterra along the back line of the end zone.
That was good coverage downfield by Texas. Kyler Murray wasn't able to go anywhere quickly with the football and was trying to get the ball late to Calcaterra. Good coverage on 1st down.
As you said, Todd, so hard to get stops against Oklahoma. They got one.
Yeah.
And the penalty has given them 4 more downs. And usually when you give this man and his talented cast around him that many opportunities, they will cash in. Sermon stays on his feet and lunges for the goal line. They're going to mark him down just short. It looked like he would be stopped well short of the goal line. He kept breaking tackles and twisting his way to the goal line.
Now this is their bread and butter play, the counter trap. They pull the backside guard and tackle. Cody Ford, the right tackle, with a huge block. There's the knee down before the ball gets to the plane.
Look at it from the Dr. Pepper pylon camera. 3rd down and goal from inside the 1. Sermon is stopped for a loss. Johnson leading the way.
Gary Johnson read this so quickly. Watch him read and react. Here he is. He's going to shoot this gap right here and meet Sermon behind the line of scrimmage. Anthony Wheeler there as well. That is a critical stop after a critical mistake by Texas.
Austin Seibert's had another great year. The Big 12 Special Teams Player of the Year. Field goal kicker, kickoff man, and punter. And that one is up and good from 20 yards.
But anytime you can make Oklahoma settle for a field goal the way their offense has been this year, you have to be thrilled. Interesting thing will be if Georgia would happen to upset Alabama. And Georgia playing their best football of the season right now. That would really make things interesting over the weekend.
Would both SEC teams then get in on that drive for 48 yards, and the two incompletions were wide open receivers he airmailed. He carried for the 16-yard touchdown, moving along the right side of the offensive line. Elijah Rodriguez, the right guard, a bit too eager.
Ball start. Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty. It's first down.
Second season for Tom Herman, 7-6 a year ago. He spoke last night about the benefit for everybody being in the second year together. Same system on each side of the ball. The continuity has helped, particularly Ellinger, who's on target to little Jordan Humphrey. He went spinning to the 26. It'll be second down and 9.
Sam Ellinger has so benefited. I mean, you mentioned only the 4 interceptions, but all of his measurables as a quarterback have improved this year, and really just his decision making more than anything. So much more comfortable, very confident.
Seven minutes to go in the quarter. Ellinger on target, first down. Devin Duvernay, tackled by Kenneth Murray, Oklahoma's leading tackle man for the year.
Beautiful protection. Watch the time that Sam has to just stay in there comfortably, survey the field. Duvernay, kind of the forgotten guy, the slot receiver, but the fastest of this Texas receiving corps.
State champ in the 100 meters here in Texas in high school. He ran a 10.27 100 meters.
Pass.
It was a lateral and a throw by Keontae Ingram, and Colin Johnson was well covered by Trey Norwood.
Good discipline by the Sooner defense that time. Norwood in good position. They had 2 eligible receivers. They were both covered.
My question would be, when you're getting yardage the conventional way on just about every play, why do you need to go into the bag of tricks right now?
Sometimes you outcoach yourself, you know. Tim Beck, offensive coordinator, been with Tom Herman for a few years.
Was at Ohio State and Nebraska before that. Well-respected offensive coordinator, one of the truly good guys in the business as well. Ingram chopped down along the near sideline by Caleb Kelly.
Excellent tackle by Caleb Kelly. He had a breakout game last week at West Virginia that we saw. It was his first start. He had 14 tackles. He returned one of the fumbles for a touchdown. That was a heck of a play there on second and long.
Those 14 tackles last week against the Mountaineers, a career high for the junior from Fresno, California. They blitz him on occasion. The Sooners are crowding the line, but Russ just 3. With others hanging around, Ellinger in trouble. Got back across the line, and that's all.
Well, they only dropped 3, but they had Bolton kind of as a spy. Now, he's not going to rush. He's going to sit right back here and watch Ellinger. They only rush 3, and when Sam starts to leave the pocket, Bolton is there to kind of wrap him up. There's a good critical stop for the Oklahoma defense.
Ryan Buchevsky, freshman from Sydney, Australia. The cousin of the great punter Michael Dixon, 3-year starter in Texas, who left a year early and is now with the Seattle Seahawks. And that's a shank. Buchevsky had a rough start to the year. He'd been much better in the second half, but that was reminiscent of the early part of the year. They're going to mark it at the 35-yard line. The Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship presented by Jared. Texas leading Oklahoma with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. It's 7-3. Time for today's Aflac Game Fact. A win today would mark Oklahoma's 4th straight Big 12 championship. The last Power 5 program to win 4 straight conference titles, Florida, 93-96. Kyler Murray out throwing to the speedy Marquise Brown. And he's ahead to the 41, a gain of 6.
We talked about this Oklahoma offense. The numbers that they have put up this year have been absolutely staggering. Lincoln Riley had the Heisman winner in the first pick in the draft last year. Baker Mayfield, even better numbers this year.
Historically good numbers. Murray deep for single coverage, and it's incomplete. Marquise Brown got his hands on it. Caden Stearns, the freshman safety, had the coverage. Looked like he had his hands on Brown for a bit, but no flags and a long incompletion.
Yeah, I think Caden Stearns got away with it there. Tugged on the back of the jersey a little bit. Marquise Brown ran by the freshman safety, and right there, I didn't get much of the jersey. Beautiful throw, though, nonetheless, by Kyler Murray. And they will threaten you deep if you leave single coverage, particularly a safety guarding a wide receiver like Marquise Brown.
So here's 3rd down and 4, and the Sooners spread the field.
Wow, another timeout. Lincoln Riley, a little confusion on this 3rd down play.
Calls their 2nd timeout of the half.
Lincoln Riley is the play caller for the Sooners. Earlier this week, Rob Mullins, the college football playoff chair, talking about Oklahoma's historic offense, and he wasn't making it up. They're averaging 8.9 yards per play. The record is 8 points. Hawaii back in 2006. 300 yards rushing and passing in a game 5 times this season. They've done that 6 times in the history of the program prior to this year. Murray on 3rd down and 4 connects with Miles Tees for a first down to the 50-yard line. They're the only team in the country, Todd, with more than 30 rushing touchdowns and passing touchdowns, and they nearly have 40 of each, and 8 straight games with 45 points is also the FBS record.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable, and Kyler Murray's ability to run has just taken them to a different level this year.
Texas laying back at the snap of the ball, and Miles Tees another catch. He didn't have a catch at West Virginia. The 2 on this drive give him just 9 for the year. They're also deep at wide receiver. That's an 8-yard gain.
I also think this offensive line this year, the unit that they had last year, they've moved some guys to some different spots. They have a new center, and they have been outstanding.
Tremendous freshman center, really talent. They think all across the 5-man offensive line with NFL futures. Here's Creed Humphrey. Kennedy Brooks, the ball carrier, who did not get the first down. Sooners line up very quickly. Longhorns soft 1-man into the line very quickly. And Kennedy Brooks. Did he get enough? It looks like he got to the 40-yard line before he was driven back by Gary Johnson, among others, and it's an Oklahoma first down.
Great opportunity right here now after the conversion for a play-action deep shot. See if they get the look that they want. They do some really unique things with their play-action because they run that counter trap so effectively. That single coverage with Marquise Brown right now at the top of the screen.
And Murray might be changing the play again. He sends Miles Tees back to the left. Play clock at 3. And a fake to Kennedy Brooks. And a deep throw. Single coverage. Boyd with contact again. That's going to be his 3rd penalty of the opening quarter as he tried to run with Marquise Brown.
Well, there is nothing that Chris Boyd could do on this one. The first 2 penalties, he made the mistake. This ball was a little bit underthrown.
Pass interference, defense number 2. That's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. automatic first down.
As Marquise Brown slowed down, Chris Boyd just couldn't put the brakes on and ran into him. It's the right call, but really unavoidable for Chris Boyd. But they went after him. Kyler Murray changed the play at the line of scrimmage when he saw that single coverage outside.
And you're lucky if you catch Marquise Brown when he slows down. He doesn't slow down very often. Junior out of Hollywood, Florida, nicknamed Hollywood. Here's Kennedy Brooks, one of the most productive running backs in the country in recent weeks. He was number 5 on the depth chart at the start of the year, but injuries moved him up to number 1. And he's piled up a lot of yards, at least 165 on the ground in each of the last 3 games, running through a lot of big holes.
Yeah, and I really think it was interesting the way that Tom Herman described it, talking about Oklahoma's offensive line. Said they're so good, it's kind of been plug and play for Oklahoma at tailback. Well, they lost Rodney Anderson in the second game against UCLA. He was their starter and a great back. But this unit up front has been so solid that they've been able to play with a lot of different people back in that tailback position and be very productive.
Under 2 minutes to go in the quarter. They again run the play clock all the way down. Here comes pressure after Murray, and he throws it away. Anthony Wheeler came on a blitz. Todd Orlando, the defensive coordinator for Texas, said you can't just let him stand back there all day. You have to mix it up and come after him every now and then.
They forced him out of the pocket, and then McCulloch did a great job of pinning him on the sideline and not letting him turn the corner and getting upfield. There's Todd Orlando, former linebacker himself at Wisconsin. He came sprinting onto the field before the game. I mean, I had to get out of his way. He was sprinting hard. He had his game face on well before this one kicked off.
He had it on last night in our meetings. 3rd down and 7 and a Texas timeout.
Texas calls their first timeout of the half. 30 seconds.
Offense as Baker Mayfield flourished in it, and so has Kyler Murray. And as you take a look at how Kyler Murray stacks up with the other top Heisman candidates, Tua Tagovailoa of Alabama, Dwayne Haskins, he is right up there. And this should go down to the final weekend as it is right now.
And we're told only about 10% of the Heisman voters have already cast their ballots. That's a very low number.
Yeah.
They're due on Monday. These voters want to get one last look in championship settings at these 3 contenders, perhaps some others as well. On 3rd and 7, Murray.
Now this is a design quarterback draw, and they're going to lead with Kennedy Brooks. All right, so Kyler's going to show pass. The line's going to all show pass, but it's a design quarterback run with Kennedy Brooks as the lead blocker. And Kyler Murray gets the yardage he needs and then gets down.
Previous players under 30 review.
I guess there's some question about whether he got to the line to gain.
Clearly passed it. You can see the yard marker. The yard to gain was right directly on the 15-yard line.
Sequestered, if you will.
The one thing we know from doing that mock is they may be sequestered, but there is plenty of food in that room.
No doubt.
There is a lot of food in that room.
We were fortunate enough at midseason to take part in a mock exercise here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area where they told us how they go through the process of selecting the teams, ranking the teams. Not an easy job. We talked about the Heisman backdrop. You're a Heisman voter.
Yeah.
Holly's a Heisman voter. I feel very privileged to have a Heisman vote as well. None of us have voted.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands is called first down.
Well, Sean, and every voter has their own criteria. For me, one of the biggest things I want to see is how do these guys play in the biggest games of the year? And the biggest games started last week, and they continue this week. So I want to see all 3 of those guys that were on that graphic. I want to see them play in these big games down the stretch.
I think there are some years when you get to this time of year where the person who's going to win it is pretty clearly established, at least in the minds of many. But the low vote total already cast is indicative that most of these voters want to see more from the leading contenders. Kennedy Brooks.
Well, we are approaching the end of the first quarter, and Oklahoma only has 86 yards of offense. And so if you could have told Todd Orlando in the first quarter you're going to hold them to 86 yards and only 3 points, you would have taken that in a heartbeat, because nobody has slowed down this Oklahoma offense, and Texas is holding their own right now.
8.9 for the season per play for Oklahoma. We should point out Texas held them to 6.9, which really doesn't sound like held them to, but 6.9 was the fewest yards per play Oklahoma had in a game. That was in the loss to Texas, although they scored 45 points in that loss.
They had to use their last timeout because Kyler Murray let the play clock run down. Lincoln Riley is livid. He's used all 3 timeouts in the first quarter.
30 seconds.
Stadium, then well chronicled. He was 43-0 as a high school quarterback in Allen, Texas, nearby. Won 3 straight titles. All those championship games were here. Will they extend their streak of touchdowns in the first quarter? Doesn't look like it. Kennedy Brooks driven back by Brecken Hager. He's been one of those players most vocal in some of the conversation back and forth around this rivalry.
This is the end.
70 degrees outdoors. We're underneath the roof. JerryWorld, Jerry Jones here today after a big win for his Cowboys here 2 nights ago. Their 4th straight win as they shut down the New Orleans Saints. 3rd down and 6. Texas showing blitz, leading 7-3 the first play of the second quarter. It is a Texas blitz. Murray lofts one up, and it's incomplete. Marquise Brown ran under it, tried to make an over-the-shoulder catch, and Chris Boyd, who had a very rough first quarter with 3 penalties, had good coverage there.
Well, that's why you have to have short-term memory. If you're a corner, you got to keep fighting. He does a great job of knocking that ball out late. This is a beautiful throw by Murray. It's a catch until the very end, and Chris Boyd does a great job of staying with the play and ripping that ball out.
Good view of it from the Dr. Pepper pylon camera. So here's Seibert again. Already connected from short range, and this one's from 27. Started back in 1996. Texas has won 3 of them. Touchback played on Saturday, December 29th. The Cotton Bowl Classic will be here. Reese and the guys will unveil the final top 25, but everybody wants to know about the top 4. And is Oklahoma better than Ohio State? One of the big debates.
Yeah, I think their strength of schedule is a little bit better. I think it comes down to also Ohio State maybe had a better win.
Ehlinger going deep on 1st down. The catch made by Colin Johnson. There was contact. The question is, did he push off? That's what it looked like from here. And that's what Parnell Motley is saying to the officiating crew, led by head linesman there, Mike Moeller.
Yeah, Colin Johnson slowed down initially.
Pass interference. Defense, number 11. The penalty is declined.
Same kind of play that Boyd got called for interference on. Watch Colin Johnson slow down at the end of this route. And when he slows down, Motley makes contact. I think that's a no call myself. I don't know that you need to call pass interference on that play.
There was contact. To me, it looked like it was the right arm of Colin Johnson that initiated it. Ehlinger, after the 31-yard pass play, runs ahead for 6. He's inside the 40 to the Oklahoma 38, taken down by Neville Gallimore and Kenneth Murray.
Now, his ability as a runner the last 2 years against Oklahoma has been huge. 19 carries in October and 22 carries the year before in the Red River game.
Lots of maneuvering around the line of scrimmage on both sides. The play clock at 2. Ehlinger, plenty of time, single coverage. Johnson with Parnell Motley riding him the whole way.
Nice coverage by Motley. One of the things, the reason that Motley is playing a lot right now, they're making a little change in their coverage. They're using Trey Norwood, number 13, was normally a starting corner, and Motley was the 3rd corner. Motley's a little bit bigger at 6 foot, 177 pounds, and Trey Norwood is playing more safety with Motley at the corner.
Third down and 4. An Oklahoma blitz and an incomplete pass. Big hit delivered by Trey Brown to knock it out of the hands of Trey Watson.
Really nice play by Trey Brown. He was in perfect position. They're trying to get a little rub play and get the back out clean, but it wasn't man-to-man coverage. So that's why Trey Brown was able to stay in his position and make the play.
Well, Tom Herman told us last night we're going to have to outscore Oklahoma. It's not likely to be a low-scoring game. So at least for the moment, he's going for it on 4th down and 4 at the 38-yard line, leading 7-6. Early in the second quarter with 4 wide receivers. Ehlinger, first down and more. Colin Johnson able to turn after the catch and make his way down to the 13-yard line. A gain of 24.
This is poorly played by Motley. Watch Motley just take a bad angle after the catch. He runs underneath the route, and that enables Colin Johnson to add about 12 more yards to this short completion. Nice pitch and catch with Ehlinger and Colin Johnson, but poorly played by Motley on the corner.
He marked the ball back at the 15. 23-yard gain and a big start for Johnson. Ehlinger, lots of running room. Out of bounds. Chased out by Robert Barnes. There have been comparisons in his running style to Tim Tebow, and I think they're valid. If you watch the way Ehlinger runs the ball, it's almost like he is looking for some contact.
He hunts it up. Yeah, he hunts up the contact. He wants to try to run through people. He's not going to try to make you miss. Takes care of the football, and he's hard to bring down to the ground. And this is where he normally likes to run, in this part of the field, inside the 10.
2nd and 3. Trey Watson, grad transfer from Cal, gets them the first down, 1st and goal inside the 5.
He's been a nice addition to this team. He's given them some leadership, some maturity. Their other back is a true freshman, Keontae Ingram.
They line up very quickly. Will Ehlinger try to do it again? He gave it off to Watson, who squirted off the original hit, but it looks like they're going to mark him down near the 3-yard line. Unaccustomed position for Oklahoma. They'd scored at least 1 touchdown in 24 straight games. Managed just 2 field goals in the first quarter today.
This formation now is quarterback run to the left. Oklahoma got victimized by that in the first game, so they have more defenders over here than they did in October. But this formation suggests Ehlinger running to the left.
Ehlinger looked to the left, takes it up the middle, and in for another touchdown.
Full counter to the adjustment Oklahoma's defense made.
Sam Ehlinger told us last night the game against Oklahoma in October was the best game
we asked him about his shoulder. Are you concerned? He said, not in this game. Not in a game like this.
Cameron Dickers kickoff, fair catch, Trey Brown. Here's Matt Berry back in the studio. Just 2 field goals for Oklahoma. I believe I said they were both in the first quarter. 1 in each quarter so far for the Sooners. The 3 points in the first quarter, their season low. The previous have been 7, done 3 times this year. Trey Sermon ahead for Lincoln Riley for a yard or 2, and that's all on first down.
I really think Lincoln's going to have to start airing it out a little bit. Texas is really getting a lot of bodies around the running game, doing a great job of negating any decent runs here early in the ball game.
Murray, lots of time, deep throw, single coverage, up for grabs and caught by Marquise Brown. That time working against Devontae Davis. A 46-yard gain for Oklahoma.
This is kind of quarters coverage, so it ends up being single coverage outside. Davis had outside leverage, and Marquise Brown did a beautiful job of beating the coverage. Does he secure the catch all the way through to the ground?
The ruling on the field.
No, he did not.
Was a completed pass. The previous play is under further review.
And Marquise knows it. He made a beautiful effort on it, but as he was going to the ground, he lost control of the football.
The Texas fans cheering. They were already screaming, wanting a replay review as they saw the original replays.
The ball can touch the ground, but you have to maintain that control all the way through the catch and through hitting the ground, and Marquise Brown not able to do that.
I think we saw, even though he didn't make the catch, part of what is getting the attention of the NFL people, because he's not big. As a matter of fact, one of the reasons why he didn't have an FBS offer and he wound up in junior college out of high school in South Florida was he was 138 pounds.
Situation right now for the Sooners.
Averaging nearly 9 yards per play for the season. They're averaging 4 yards per play to this point. But a long way to go. And an Oklahoma offense so explosive, as we saw in the regular season meeting when they rallied from 21 down to tie against the Horns. Marquise Brown got blasted as he approached the line to make by Devontae Davis. And they're going to mark him a yard short.
If Davis doesn't make this kind of a hit, Marquise Brown's going to turn this upfield and score. Or, I mean, at least get the first down. But Davis hits him right before he gets to the marker. And he hit him high, which did not enable Marquise Brown to get any further.
B.J. Locke, the senior, slowed him up. And Davis finished him off. And it's a punt for Seibert, who punted only once in their win in West Virginia last Friday night. Not a great kick. Little Jordan Humphrey backfielding punts for the first time this year. For that reason, Tom Herman said, I'm getting tired of watching punts bounce around on the ground. Head coach once again of the Tar Heels. Ellinger on target. Nice move by Colin Johnson after the catch. And we appreciate what Mac did for us. Yes. It's college football's game, though, to have him back on the sideline.
Absolutely. And I'm looking forward to seeing him going up to the College Football Hall of Fame dinner on Tuesday night in New York. Looking forward to seeing Mac and sharing in that night with him.
He's going into the Hall of Fame. This is pretty good when you're athletic director. You can say we're hiring literally a Hall of Fame coach. Vince Young among the Longhorn royalty. His quarterback on the national championship team in 2005, Matt Brown. No gain on first down here for the Longhorns, leading 14-6. They have shut down the nation's #1 offense. Nearly doubled them up in yardage. Sam Ellinger, 9 out of 13. Pulls it down running. He has run for both of the touchdowns in this game. Not a lot there, about 3. Pursued across the boundary by Trey Brown.
You know, Sean, it's interesting to me as you take a look at Kyler Murray. Murray looks a little frustrated on the bench, but to me, the reason Texas is returning, I think, to being a contender again is because they finally are getting some stable quarterback play again. Sam Ellinger, his stats this year, he's doing things that haven't been done since Colt McCoy and Vince Young were the quarterback. And that was a long stretch with poor quarterback play.
Lots of turnover in coaching staffs as well. Ellinger sacked. Amani Bledsoe there for Oklahoma. Just his 2nd sack of the season.
Really nice play by Bledsoe. Working on Cosme. They really like this right tackle, but Bledsoe just overpowers him. Just kind of gets him backpedaling a little bit, gets by him. Man is also there on the other side, and they forced a punt. So a nice stop by the Oklahoma defense when they needed it.
So here's Buchevsky. His first punt was a shank. C.D. Lamb, dangerous return man back deep.
Wow, they were close on that one.
Lamb with a flag down. Lamb, nifty run back, excellent footwork as he made it to the 43. And there is a flag down far sideline along the line of scrimmage.
And we talk about the Oklahoma offense, but one of the great areas of improvement of this Sooner team this year has been in their return game and the special teams. Seibert obviously has been great, special teams player of the year, but their return game has really stepped up.
It's against Oklahoma.
Offside. Defense, number 11, lined up in the neutral zone. Correction, moved into the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, 4th down.
Parnell Motley moved into the neutral zone. This is him right here out on the gunner. They put a lot of pressure on the punt, but he stepped into the neutral zone and that drew the flag. See if they go after the punt again.
To your point, last year Oklahoma was 97th in the country in punt return average, 5.6. This year they're 16 yards per punt return, and that is 8th in the country. Lamb himself is 14.3. A long return of 66 this season for C.D. Lamb, sophomore out of Richmond, Texas.
Oklahoma with 2 block kicks returned for touchdowns this year already too.
Another so-so effort by Buchevsky, but the coverage is excellent this time by Josh Thompson, their leading special teams tackler for the year. There is another flag down. This one is at the Oklahoma 45-yard line. The line judge Frank LeBlanc indicating it is a hold against Oklahoma.
Well, after that sack, Oklahoma looked to be able to get decent field position, but now after a couple penalties, they're going to be backed up.
During the kick, holding receiving team number 87. That will be enforced 10 yards from the end of the kick. 1st down.
Miles Tees called for the hold.
Take a look as they're going on the right side. I think right there. They're holding P.J. Locke, number 11. There it is, the takedown. And again, what started out looking like Oklahoma would have really good field position, now they're backed up inside the 15.
Give the Texas defense credit, well coached, and they're executing very well as well. They've held Oklahoma to 96 yards of offense. And we're midway through the 2nd quarter. Murray has a man open. C.D. Lamb. Caden Stearns finally got him out of bounds, but a big play for OU to the 41-yard line of Texas.
Watch C.D. Lamb at the top of your screen on the right side. He's going to fake like he's getting a quick throw, and then he runs by the freshman safety, Caden Stearns. He kind of set him up, and Kyler Murray led him perfectly for the big play.
So concerned as a defender, Murray is going to turn the corner and run it. Trey Sermon did well to stay on his feet for a moment, and he got driven back after a 5-yard gain. And the Texas defense saw that in the regular season meeting. Murray, as Todd Orlando said, ran by our entire defense on a 67-yard touchdown run. They know how fast he is. 3-man rush. Now they send a 4th after him, and that pays off. Anthony Wheeler again for the Longhorns.
Yeah, watch Anthony Wheeler, the work he does on this play. Now here he is. He's not rushing the quarterback, but he's got eyes on the quarterback. So he's just trying to stay in a position to mirror with Murray. Angle to the sideline and forces him out after a short gain. That is not easy to do, because if you take at all a bad angle, Kyler Murray's going to turn the corner on him.
Senior from Dallas, Anthony Wheeler, their 2nd leading tackler for the year, one of their 5-team captains. Under 6.5 to go till halftime. 3rd down and 8. Probably 4-down territory if they need it. We'll see, because there's Carson Meyer. Taken down by Gary Johnson, 1.5 yards short of the 1st down. They are in long field goal range, but Lincoln Riley is calling a play.
Nice job by Meyer, just kind of finding a soft spot in that zone defense and bringing up the 4th down play. You want the ball in number 1's hands here on this kind of a yardage situation. Give him a run pass option on 4th and short.
Trey Sermon and Kennedy Brooks, the running back on either hip. It's Brooks on Murray's right. And it's Sermon. A 1st down and much more as he slid through inside the 28-yard line.
actually think they got away with a little movement right here early by Cody Ford before the snap. Got away with it, no flag. Nice lead block by Kennedy Brooks. And a first down for Oklahoma.
On 1st and 10. Murray looking to the end zone, and it is caught! CeeDee Lamb with the Oklahoma touchdown.
In the slot, he's running the deep post. Kyler Murray looking right first, then he comes back. He's got single coverage, and he runs by Brandon Jones, the safety. Caden Stearns, the other safety, not there to help. Beautiful read by Kyler Murray, and laid that ball out perfectly for Lamb.
28 yards. No question about possession. Clean catch by CeeDee Lamb, his 10th receiving touchdown of the season. His 17th in just 27 career games for Oklahoma. Seibert, the extra point. 5:01 to go till halftime. The Red River rematch shaping up as another classic. Austin Seibert, touchback machine. And no chance for return. 4 kickoffs, 4 touchbacks for the senior from Belleville, Illinois.
Take a look at the touchdown again. Here's CeeDee Lamb. He's going to run the post on Brandon Jones. But what I want you to watch is Kyler Murray is going to use his eyes and fake looking that way a little bit, and watch the safety, the freshman, Caden Stearns, is going to move towards that back a little bit. And as soon as he was not able to get back and help on the deep throw to CeeDee Lamb. Just that little bit of movement by Kyler Murray with the eyes moved the safety and opened up that deep throw to CeeDee Lamb.
Sam Ellinger. And the Longhorns now with a 1-point lead. Trey Watson, the running back. And whistles stop the play for a flag.
I don't think they got the play off.
Delay of game. Offense.
And that is
5-yard penalty.
That's the ultimate mental error. You come off the sideline to start a new possession, and you don't get a play snap before the play clock. That's 100% on the quarterback, and you just can't afford those negative kind of plays like that in a game like this.
Ellinger surrounded, took off up the middle, and gets wrestled down at the 30, but he gained 10 on 1st and 15. Ronnie Perkins and Caleb Kelly to stop.
He was looking to his left to Colin Johnson, who is going to run a stop and go. It's not there, and then he had to make a quick decision to run. Picked up a nice block by Trey Watson, and they just see the strength. I mean, he's just a difficult guy to bring down when he gets going north and south.
Trey Watson driving the legs, but he got stood up by Curtis Bolton.
What a nice tackle by Bolton. I mean, he met, this is absolute picture perfect tackling. Meet the guy in the hole, face up, wrap him up. Your old partner Chris Spielman would have loved that play right there. That is vintage linebacker tackling. Meet him up high, wrap him up, take him to the ground.
Here's Ellinger. Got through the pile after he had gained the yardage for the first down, got some extra out to the 40.
Yeah, watch the block by Beck, 47, and Watson, 5. Design quarterback sweep all the way. And Ellinger, again, just shows his power. Took a late shot at the end of that play by Trey Norwood. And out of the game, Kenneth Murray, their leading tackler.
Who struggled on that play, didn't get Ellinger down. Deshaun White takes his place. Number 23, a true freshman. Beck is wide open. Andrew Beck, he delivers a Little bit of a blow into Parnell Motley at the end of the play to the Oklahoma 40, a pickup of 20.
Well, watch Beck. He's going to show like he's blocking on a wide receiver screen, and then he just takes off into that voided area. Nice design play by Tim Beck and Tom Herman. And Andrew Beck with the big catch.
And Tim Beck, the coordinator, no relation, said Andrew Beck is a huge reason why their offense is so much better this year. They really didn't have a tight end a year ago. They use Andrew Beck in a variety of ways.
Well, we've seen him on the end of the line. We've seen him flexed out like he was that, playing an H-back here. Ooh, Bolton again.
He lost his helmet as he renewed his acquaintance with Trey Watson.
Look at this collision in the hole again. Reads it quickly. Both linebackers coming on the inside pressure and nobody there to block Bolton.
I think Texas would be wise here, Todd, to run the clock.
Yeah.
They still have 12 more seconds. They know how quickly Oklahoma can score. This is just second down. Ideally, Tom Herman would want to score with as little time left as possible. Flag down. Ellinger. That looked like a push-off. Colin Johnson. It's a touchdown, at least for the moment. Sooners irate that there wasn't a flag for a push-off, and perhaps there was. There is one down in the end zone. There's also one back near the line of scrimmage on the far sideline.
I'm not sure Texas was lined up correctly on the outside in their formation. We'll see what both penalties were. But again, using that size advantage with Colin Johnson, and you're going to take your chances with that.
There was a flag thrown to the line of scrimmage right at the snap. And as you said, it might be Texas was not lined up correctly. Something along the line of scrimmage, certainly. Then the flag in the end zone. You wonder if they did get Johnson for the push-off.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both by the offense. Illegal shift is declined. Pass interference number 9 will be enforced 15 yards from the previous spot. Replay, second down.
Well, the illegal shift, I just don't think they got set up out here correctly when they snapped the ball. And then here's the one-on-one coverage that you're going to see. Colin Johnson, they're throwing it up, giving it a chance, and he gets the push-off at the end of the play. You have to be set for 1 second. I kind of thought they might have been set for that 1 second, but that's what drew the flag.
So second and 25. Ellinger out of the gun. Chased by Gallimore, throws. Incomplete. Brennan Eagles, the intended receiver, and he's only caught 1 ball all year. True freshman who had his only catch back in week 2 against Tulsa.
Well, you talk about, again, critical stops. Look at the enthusiasm on the Oklahoma bench. Their defense right now with an opportunity right before halftime. Their offense is going to get the ball to start the third quarter. They have a chance to turn this game right now.
Well, I would question the play call there by Texas throwing the ball. Oklahoma has no timeouts left.
Yeah, that's right.
Second and 25. You might have wanted to run a play that would keep the clock running. It's a screen. It's a good screen. It's Keontae Ingram. Backwards to the 41-yard line, well short of the first down by about 11 yards.
Well, they can let that clock run now, Sean, as far down as they can. Use one of their timeouts and then try to punt the ball deep, I would think. I don't think you want to go for it here and give Oklahoma any kind of a short field. Their offense started to come alive here of late. So run that clock down as far as you can. Try to get a good punt inside the 5-yard line and make Kyler Murray go on a long field with no timeouts.
Looks like Tom Herman is going to use the timeout. If you know you're going to punt, you could also just take the delay penalty and maybe give the punter a little more room. Approaching halftime, here's today's unexpected outcome brought to you by scoring total, and the yardage a little more than halfway to what they usually get total, and way below the typical rushing first half.
And I think that's the difference in the ball game right now, is what Texas has been able to do to defend Oklahoma's run, which has been virtually unstoppable the last 7 weeks of the season.
Texas lined up as if it's going to punt. Oklahoma doesn't have anybody back inside the 20-yard line. There's the possibility perhaps of a fake, but it's a long way to go. 4th and 11. Buchevsky, the punter. The shifting didn't seem to confuse Oklahoma.
I mean, even if you get them to draw off sides, it's not going to change the situation. It's 4th and 11. It would be 4th and 6 if they jumped off sides. That's what you try to do there, maybe draw them off sides with a hard snap count.
Offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. It's 4th down.
Well, to me, Texas wasted a timeout. Now, with 1:06 to go, if you know you're going to punt on 4th down, it seems Tom Herman did, just take the 5 yards originally, punt it away, leave yourself 2 timeouts. If you pack Oklahoma back up there and something happens, you may want to be able to stop the clock enough to get the ball back. Buchevsky into the end zone.
That's not what you want.
No, he's had a rough first half. Here's Holly.
Well, guys, this offensive line for Oklahoma has been under duress today. In fact, over on their sideline, in between series, their offensive line coach, Bill Biedenbow, who is terrific, has been after them. He's saying you've got to be tougher. You've got to finish blocks. They have not been themselves. Even Lincoln Riley, the head coach, came over and was really getting in the face of this offensive line, asking for more. They have been very atypical for what they're normally doing here in the first half. Credit that defense in front of Texas, but this O-line has to come alive.
And no timeouts for Oklahoma. They've had trouble getting the ball snapped. That could be a factor here in the final minute. But they can score in the blink of an eye. And they're on their way, perhaps. Murray on target to Nick Basquin, just his 5th catch of the year.
Murray's vision is outstanding. I mean, his ability to stay alive in the pocket and kind of scan what's happening in the back end of the defense, really remarkable.
And Texas not lined up. Uses its last timeout.
Texas calls their 3rd and final timeout of the half. It'll be 30 seconds.
.51 seconds to halftime. No timeouts on either side. 1st and 10 Oklahoma from its own 44. Sooners have not led in the game. Basquin again. High stepping his way out of bounds and thrown down at the end by P.J. Locke, but it's another 1st down.
Texas was so concerned about covering deep that they didn't have enough defenders over there on that quick throw. Had 2 blockers in front and a big gain with that pass.
Basquin had 4 catches all season long. Now he's had 2 back-to-back. They're at the 36 of Texas in long field goal range. Murray all day. Throws and a leaping catch by C.D. Lamb, and he is in bounds at the 19.
The ruling on the field is a completed pass for a 1st down.
No pass rush. Good job by that offensive line in this possession, giving Kyler Murray time to just see what he wants to see. What a catch, but I don't know if he got that foot down. They ran the play.
Kennedy Brooks carries.
Wow. I think Oklahoma got away with one there. I don't know that he got his foot down.
I think he had 1 in and 1 out. It was just a question of which one came down first. Meanwhile, after the Brooks run, there's a flag.
Tremendous effort. But the left foot down, right foot out. I think you're right. I think the left foot came down
I think
first.
he's just got the left foot down ahead of the right. All you need is 1. It has to be the first one. Yeah, left toes down. Good call by the officials.
Wow, what a catch.
And good work by the replay booth to let them continue on. Officials now conferring. Brecken Hager.
After the play, personal foul, face mask by the defense, number 44. That will be enforced half the distance to the goal. It's an We will start the clock on the snap.
Hager, an emotional player. As Todd Orlando said, he's a little out there. He's hoping they win today for a lot of reasons, including he wants to cut that long hair. He said, "I won't cut my hair until we win a Big 12 title." And it's been growing for several years without a haircut.
Calcaterra right here. He's the biggest receiver out there.
Longhorns inching toward the line. They bring pressure up the middle. It was blocked. And it's Calcaterra with the Oklahoma touchdown and the lead. Flag down in the back of the end zone near where he made the catch.
I think it was holding or pass interference on Brandon Jones, who was in coverage on Calcaterra.
Prior to the pass. Holding. Defense. Number 19. The penalty is declined. The result of the play. Touchdown.
This is a beautiful route by Calcaterra. He's going to set up Brandon Jones. Watch Calcaterra move a little bit outside, pause, and then cut back in. And that's what drew the holding, but still a beautiful throw by Kyler Murray to the back of the end zone. And Oklahoma takes the lead.
For the first time today. Even when they're stagnant, they're so explosive. The extra point by Seibert has given the Sooners a 6-point lead.
Nice job by Murray, not panicking, even though there were some free rushers coming. He knew he had Calcaterra in the back of the end zone and threw it to his biggest target out there for the touchdown.
Grant Calcaterra, sophomore from Rancho Santa Margarita, California. First-year starter. Last year played behind the terrific Mackey Award winners, the best tight end in the country, Mark Andrews, who's now having an excellent rookie year for John Harbaugh and the Baltimore Ravens.
Well, and another costly face mask penalty on Texas in that drive. That now 8 penalties for 78 yards against Texas in the first half. As good as they played in so many ways, that has hurt them in this ballgame.
And you go back to the play calling, not to belabor the point. But with 2nd and 25, they're in their own territory. Oklahoma out of timeouts. They threw a pass, it was incomplete. Tom Herman said, "You got to outscore Oklahoma." Clearly that's what he's trying to do. But that stopped the clock and perhaps provided Oklahoma just enough time that it needed with these 18 seconds to score the go-ahead touchdown.
Yeah, absolutely. You can question that. I just think Oklahoma finally got a little swagger back to their offense. They had really been stymied, have not been able to run the football, but Kyler Murray kind of came alive there, took advantage of getting the ball back, and now they'll get the ball to start the third quarter with a lot of confidence and a lot of momentum, too.
How about words that haven't been said a lot this year? How about this Oklahoma defense?
Critical stops. That's a term I learned in the last 3 weeks covering Big 12. Critical stops in critical situations.
Now, without a timeout, Trey Watson straight ahead. Texas got the opening kickoff, marched down and scored, led throughout almost the entire first half, but it's Oklahoma that takes the lead to the locker room and will receive the second half kickoff. Texas scored less than 3.5 minutes in, led throughout almost the entire half. Oklahoma scoring in the final seconds of the first half to take its first lead of this Dr. Pepper Big 12 championship game. And Oklahoma will receive the second half kickoff. Cameron Dicker kicks off. And it's a touchback. Welcome back to Arlington, Texas. Sean McDonough with Todd Blackledge, rejoined in a moment by Holly Rowe. We talked about it was a struggling start for this Oklahoma offense, but you look at the numbers, they're over 250 yards for the half, on their way to 500 perhaps again, as they've been in every conference game this year. Texas
did such a great job for most of that first half, particularly stopping the run, and finally Lincoln Riley said, you know what, we got to throw the football. They're doing a great job on a run. Let's put the ball in the hands of Kyler Murray, and that really started to loosen things up in that late part of the first half.
Kyler Murray throws short. C.D. Lamb across the field, and they'll mark him out of bounds with a first down at the 40-yard line.
They love that play. It's kind of a wide receiver screen under the guise of a crossing route. As long as that receiver gets back behind the line of scrimmage, guys can block downfield. They ran it earlier with Marquise Brown in the first half. That time they did it with C.D. Lamb.
Trey Sermon gets 2. A moment ago, Holly spoke with Lincoln Riley.
Well, Coach Riley, that is the first time in 25 games you haven't scored in the first quarter. What kind of changed in the second that you started to get more of a rhythm offensively?
We just made some competitive plays. We had plenty of opportunities. We moved it good the first half. We just didn't do a good job, finishing in the red zone. We did that there in the second quarter.
How does scoring, going to the locker room at the half, really give you guys some juice? I saw offensive linemen leaping in the air.
Yeah, a lot of momentum. To be able to flip that there, get a stop, come down, score, and get the ball here to start the second half was huge.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Holly.
Trey Sermon got them to the 45-yard line. Here's 3rd down and 5, opening possession of the second half. Murray sidesteps the rush over the middle and on target. First down to the Texas 42-yard line. Miles Tees.
Well, how Murray eludes this. This is a direct path to the quarterback by Gary Johnson. And he just can't get him. Nice job by Kyler Murray using his feet.
Deep throw, single coverage, flag down. Miles Tees and Brandon Jones there. And now fans throwing debris onto the field from the stands. That's dangerous. Beer can flying out of the lower seats in that end zone where the flag was thrown.
Defense, number 19. That's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Again, Gary Johnson is a safety. They're looking for the matchups in man coverage with a safety and a wide receiver. Both guys had hands on each other. Tees gets away with a little tug, but Brandon Jones does not. I don't know. We've seen a couple games the last couple weeks where they've let a lot of that stuff go.
The Big 12 needs to figure out how it wants to call pass interference, what they want to allow downfield and not. Because we saw some games a couple weeks ago where they basically let them mug each other without flags. Trey Sermon down to the 20-yard line.
But the result is Texas now 9 penalties for 93 yards. That's a huge swing for Oklahoma in this game.
Only 2 called against Oklahoma for 15 yards. Murray keeps it. First down inside the 15-yard line. The 20 points for Oklahoma in the first half. Their second lowest total of the season. Texas held them to 17 points in the Cotton Bowl, the regular season meeting. Sermon wanted to throw it, runs instead, and is close to another first down. Tackled by Gary Johnson just shy of the 5 and just shy of the line to make.
He was looking for Lee Morris in the end zone, and a good decision by Trey Sermon not to throw the football.
Sermon, touchdown, Oklahoma.
We talked about this offensive line, and it's led by a redshirt freshman center, Creed Humphrey. Watch him open this thing up for Trey Sermon. Takes his man completely out of the play. Nice block by Ben Powers, the left guard as well. And Oklahoma right away gets back on the scoreboard. You just cannot stop this offense. You can contain it, you can control it. Texas did that for the first quarter, but now Oklahoma getting it revved up. Kyler Murray started slowly, he was 4 of 8, and he is picked up now.
He's completed 11 straight passes. Started 4 out of 9, 11 for 11 since, and 2 touchdowns. It's a 13-point lead for the Sooners. Here's Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, you saw that nice hole opened up by the redshirt freshman center of Oklahoma, Creed Humphrey. He has gotten so good so fast, and one of the reasons he's been wrestling since he was 4 years old. He said that he knows leverage, he understands leverage, how to use his body, how to use his hands, and not only that, He's been working with a private center coach 2 to 3 times a week since he was in 8th grade. He said, I knew early on what I wanted to do. I told my dad I want to be a center in the NFL, and here he is as a redshirt freshman. It's so good. You can tell I'm totally obsessed with him. I just think he's so great.
I didn't know there was such a thing
I've
as
never
a
heard of such a
center coach.
No, I've never heard of such a thing either.
Their
But he is a
kicking
good
coaches, their quarterback coaches did not know there were private center coaches. I don't know if that's a big business. That might be lucrative because he's going to play in the NFL. Lincoln Riley told us he's the best offensive lineman that he's ever been around. And he's a freshman. Austin Seibert, another majestic kick.
They just scored again here in the 3rd quarter.
Ellinger running out of time and ripped down by the freshman Ronnie Perkins.
Well, Perkins is right here. He's going to come on an inside stunt. Ellinger has plenty of time early on to make a throw, but he's just not able to find anybody downfield. And at the last minute, Perkins is there for the sack. Oklahoma's defense, much maligned this year, but they have made some big plays in this game so far today.
And maligned with a reason. They're 100th in the country in scoring defense, 111th out of 130 in total defense. Ellinger on target. Colin Johnson running after the catch out to the 44-yard line.
Now, this is a beautiful route and a throw by Sam Ellinger at the top of the screen. Colin Johnson attacks outside leverage by Motley, the corner. And a nice throw on time. They got to get little Jordan Humphrey back involved in the game, though.
Deontay Ingram out toward midfield, a couple of yards short. Kenneth Murray, Neville Gallimore combining on the stop for Oklahoma.
Humphrey only had 3 catches for 22 yards in the first half, and he had a monster game against the Sooners in October. They've got to find a way to get him on track here in this Longhorn offense.
Targeted him 4 times. He had 9 catches in the regular season win over Oklahoma. Deontay Ingram, first down across midfield to the Sooners' 45-yard line.
Well, Humphrey did a nice job blocking on that play. That was a design screen. You had 2 wide receivers out there blocking. He did a nice job on a linebacker, Caleb Kelly, to spring that play for a first down. Texas really needs a touchdown on this drive. They can't afford to allow this lead to get too far extended with Oklahoma.
Ellinger set himself on target again. Colin Johnson delivers a shove to the face of Parnell Motley and has a first down at the 24-yard line.
Inside technique by Motley. Easy throw and catch for Ellinger and Johnson. You see Colin Johnson at the end trying to get a little extra.
Was running out of time. Little Jordan Humphrey, a bobbling catch and a loss of yardage on the play.
That was a corner blitz by Parnell Motley, and that's why Ellinger had to get rid of the football. He did a good job just to get rid of the football. Here comes Motley at the top of the screen, number 11, unblocked, and Sam just has to unload the football. Negative yardage play by the Sooner defense on first down.
Kenneth Murray, the tackle. Ruffin McNeil continues to preach his belief in this defense and the talent of the defense, the effort level.
They have Johnson and Humphrey on the same side here to the short side of the field.
Ellinger given a lot of time. Fires to the end zone. And caught as he inbounds. Yes. Touchdown, Texas. Colin Johnson.
What terrific protection. Again, Trey Brown, 5'10". Colin Johnson, 6'4". Throw it up and let the big guy go make a play. 1 foot down, good clean catch. But it started with terrific protection. Ellinger had a long time to survey that field and come back late to Colin Johnson in the corner of the end zone.
Seventh catch for Johnson. 5. Todd Blackledge and Holly Rowe inside AT&T Stadium, the home of the Dallas Cowboys. Dr. Pepper Big 12 championship game. Oklahoma by 6. Texas after the touchdown kicks off. And Trey Brown takes the knee. Here's Holly.
Donate to ESPN and the V Foundation in the fight against cancer. Visit v.org/donate.
Thank you, Holly. We certainly echo your words. Kyler Murray is sacked for a 2-yard loss, and we're delighted to hear Holly's news during the week that just 3 months after finishing chemotherapy in her own cancer battle, scans this week, and all of them clean.
Yep. Great news.
That is loss of a yard, perhaps even 2. Second down, 12, inside handoff, and Sermon is bottled up. Another loss on the play.
Well, you can see what that touchdown did to the defense, the energy of the Texas defense. 2 plays in a row, they get to the quarterback, they get a negative yardage play on a run, and now 3rd and long. Can they force a second Oklahoma punt of the football game?
Kyler Murray trying to go quickly. Texas brings pressure. He threw it up for grabs, and it's incomplete. Well short of C.D. Lamb. The throw was a duck, as he literally tried to duck the blitz.
Yes, that's exactly right. That's why he threw the duck. He was trying to duck the blitz and get rid of the football, and he didn't throw his normal pretty pass, and it came up short and wobbly. But credit this Texas defense. B.J. Foster on that pressure. 3 dynamic defensive plays in a row by the Texas defense.
A very rare 3-and-out for the Oklahoma offense. Little Jordan Humphrey mentioned here, returning punts. Tom Herman wanted the ball to be caught. Not Texas scored on its last possession to get within 6. The defense a 3-and-out. Now Sam Ehlinger again, retreating and in trouble. At this point, just wanting to get rid of it, and an incomplete pass for Andrew Beck. Pressure by Ronnie Perkins.
And one thing we should bring up, in the meeting in October, one of the real turning points, Oklahoma had 3 turnovers and Texas had none. It was a big difference in the game. No turnovers so far in this football game. Could be very critical down the stretch.
Trey Watson runs for 9. Curtis Bolton stopped him just shy of the first down.
Good inside run. You got a lot of options at 3rd and short, particularly with a quarterback who can run like Sam Ehlinger.
Ehlinger took a hit on his right shoulder while throwing the touchdown pass on the last drive. Was moving it around a little bit. Didn't look to be in significant pain, but definitely swung it around a couple of times well after he threw the ball.
This is a defensive lineman out over Little Jordan right now.
Ehlinger. There's a crease. There's a first down across midfield and sliding down at the 48-yard line of Oklahoma.
And this is all Sam Ehlinger can do is to slide. I mean, he does not normally slide, doesn't love to slide, but he's doing the smart thing right there.
Trey Watson bounces off a couple of hits, gets tackled forward to the 44-yard line.
A nice block by Andrew Beck in there. And I really like this guy. He does so many different things for them. Number 47 missed all of last year with an injury.
He had a broken foot. He actually broke it twice last year. Ball's out, but it's out of bounds. Trey Watson had it popped out by Robert Barnes.
But that ball went backwards and they lost a couple yards. So it'll be 3rd and longer now for Texas. Good hit by Barnes. Helmet right on the football.
The ball was fumbled backwards and out of play.
Unlike when they play in the Cotton Bowl, we see a lot of Oklahoma fans next to the Texas fans. Usually it's the crimson and cream from the 50-yard line around one end zone to the other 50, and the burnt orange in the other direction. But here they're intermingled. And watching a very entertaining game. Whistles before the snap. Timeout, Oklahoma.
Texas was lined up the same way as the last
Oklahoma
touchdown.
calls their first timeout of the half.
As he can remember, trying to lead them to a Big 12 title. Down by 6, 3rd and 7. From the Oklahoma 46, he's on target. First down, Lil Jordan Humphrey inside the 30-yard line to the Oklahoma 28.
Working on Trey Norwood, the corner who's playing inside as a safety. Nice route by Humphrey and a good first down. So Neville Gallimore down. They missed him in the Oklahoma State game.
Polite and obviously tough and talented. A very good backup in Shane Buechele. They battled for the job. Tim Beck said he has the it factor, talking about Ehlinger. He's throwing to the end zone and for the lead. Flag down. They might have been holding Lil Jordan Humphrey. Robert Barnes intercepted it. But pass interference against Oklahoma will be the call.
Pass interference. Defense number 13. That's a 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Sean, they got the penalty, but I want you to watch this. Duvernay is going to run in the middle of the field wide open. He's looking to Little Jordan Humphrey out here. He gets the penalty, but if he sees Duvernay in the middle, it's a touchdown for Texas. Nobody around him. They get the penalty, and they're in scoring position, but he would have had a touchdown in one play. But clearly a penalty on Trey Norwood, and they've gone now 2 plays in a row to Little Jordan Humphrey.
Third penalty against Oklahoma. Texas has been penalized 9 times. Texas led throughout almost the entire first half, trying to reclaim the lead with a touchdown as we approach 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. And movement along the right end of the Texas offensive line.
Yeah, just so long to be in your stance up there if you're an offensive lineman. Texas trying to do a lot at the line of scrimmage.
Full start. Offense number 52. That's a 5-yard penalty. It's first down.
Sam Cosme, the right tackle. Again, they're really high on him. You know, you're asking these guys to stay up there ready to strike. Long period of time, and he moved, as did Andrew Beck, and 5 yards against him.
Run fake. Devin Duvernay lunging for the first down marker. Didn't get, but they're going to give him the 5-yard line.
What a nice block by Lil Jordan Humphrey also. I've seen that a couple times, using that big body, not just as a receiver, but as a lead blocker.
Ingram. First down. Keontae Ingram, the true freshman, their leading rusher for the year, averaging 61 yards a game.
So I think that's smart with Neville Gallimore on the sideline, their best interior run defender.
4 injured player.
And now Bolton, who has played so well today in the last couple weeks, down at the end of that play.
That'll be a huge loss if he has to go out. He's their second leading tackler, 17th in the nation, making 10 tackles a game.
The other thing about him is they move him around and play him in so many different spots in their different defensive packages. He has a lot of versatility for this defense.
Looked like a cramp for Bolton. Actually seized up a bit on his walk-off. First and goal, Texas.
Got their big back Daniel Young in now with Ehlinger.
Wouldn't shock anybody if Ehlinger ran it himself.
They moved. There was movement. Again, Elijah Rodriguez, the right guard. You got to hold your water. I mean, you're killing yourself with these kind of motion penalties. First and goal on the 2, you're going to run the football. Now you back it up.
Start. Offense number 72. That's a 5-yard penalty. It's first down.
Just a lack of concentration by Elijah Rodriguez. You have this Oklahoma defense kind of right where you want them. You've got a quarterback who's a great runner inside the 5-yard line, and now you put yourself a little bit farther away from that goal line. And Ingram in instead of Daniel Young now.
First and goal, just outside the 6. Ehlinger looked like he had some running room, but he stumbled as he got away from the traffic. They'll mark it on the 5-yard line. Second and goal, and under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter in this Dr. Pepper Big 12 championship game.
Again, you've got big receivers. If you want to throw on second down, you've got Lil Jordan Humphrey and Colin Johnson both to the top of the screen. This is the formation that they have run with the quarterback to the right in previous games against Oklahoma. Same thing they did in the first half.
It's Ellinger corralled after a short gain. Amani Bledsoe says, we're not going for that again.
Really nice play by Bledsoe. Worked his way down the line. Was not fooled. It's Ruffin McNeil. Took over for Mike Stoops. Huge third down play for his defense right here. Remember, they were first and goal inside the 2 before this.
And you wonder if it's 4 down territory. Tom Herman said you really can't kick field goals against Oklahoma. Sooners showing blitz. They rush 5. Ellinger throws. Caught. Touchdown, Lil Jordan Humphrey. And it's the true freshman out of Austin, Lake Travis High School, Cameron Dicker. One of the heroes of the regular season win against Oklahoma. Kicked the game-winning field goal. And that one is off the uprights. Looked like it was deflected, and now it's Robert Barnes, but the play's dead. It hit the crossbar.
The ball is dead by
appeared
rule when it hits the crossbar. The extra point is no good.
And it's the first one missed by Dicker this year.
A little bit low by Dicker.
Amani Bledsoe.
Yeah, Bledsoe. Yep, he's the one who got it.
And got enough of it that it did not creep over. 2 punts. Both went for touchdowns. Dicker's kickoff will be a touchback. Here's a look at our
late in the third quarter.
Murray averages 306 yards passing, 71 rushing per game. He sets and throws, and it's through the hands of Marquise Brown, a little bit too far in front of Hollywood.
Yeah, you don't see Kyler Murray miss many throws like that. He didn't have any pressure, just a little bit overthrown to the outside. Marquise Brown working on the safety. They've really worked that matchup against Brandon Jones.
Kyler's parents, Kevin and Missy. Kevin, a fine quarterback at Texas A&M, who now tutors young quarterbacks. Kyler told us, my dad taught me how to play. One of the things he taught him is how to be patient in the pocket. Ran out of time and patience there, wisely so. Weaving along the sideline, a first down. Out near the 40-yard line.
Well, and this play shows you how dangerous he is. Now, you're going to see Jeffrey McCulloch, number 23, in position to make a tackle. But as soon as he takes one false step, the quick feet of Kyler Murray gets to the outside and turns it into a positive play. Has the ability to make you miss with quickness and then run by you with great speed.
The only player in the history of FBS football go through a regular season, average 300 yards per game passing and 60 yards or more per game rushing. Kennedy Brooks to the 49. And in many years, Todd, he's a shoo-in.
Yeah,
Kyler Murray to win the Heisman Trophy, but not in this year when Tua Tagovailoa has been historically great. Dwayne Haskins has already set the Big Ten single-season record for touchdown passes, breaking a mark held by Drew Brees. And
they all three are playing in huge games tonight on a national stage. I just think it's awesome for that reason for the Heisman race.
Final minute and a half of the third quarter, tied at 27. Huge missed extra point by Texas a moment ago. Marquise Brown got just enough for the first down to the Texas 49. Dicker, who kicked that 40-yard game-winning field goal against Oklahoma with 9 seconds left. Had a great freshman year, but that was a big miss on the block by Bledsoe. Murray scrambles for about 8 more. They had scored 3 touchdowns on 3 consecutive possessions before the 3-and-out last time on the field.
And you you hate to give up a gain of 7 or 8, but you'll take that with Kyler Murray because, like Todd Orlando said to us, he can run 60 yards just as fast as he can throw a pass 60 yards. So if you hold him to 8 yards or 7 yards, that's kind of a win for your defense.
I'm sure that's literally true, but it has to be close. You'd almost like to see it. He could outrace a ball that was 60 yards in the air the way he throws it. Marquise Brown. How about that footwork? Knocked down from behind inside the 30-yard line.
Nice job by Lee Morris, the other receiver out there with the block on Chris Boyd. Oklahoma kind of methodically going down the field here with short passes and runs after the catch.
Brown limping slightly as he went to the sideline. They do not have to snap the ball again here in the third quarter, and it appears that the Sooners will not. One of the great rivalries in American sports, not just in college football. And this one is for the conference championship, the Dr. Pepper Big 12 title game on ABC, presented by Jerry. We'll continue after this. On 1st and 10, Kyler Murray tied game, fourth quarter, and the throw just a little bit too long for Carson Meyer. Here's Holly.
Well, Oklahoma without Marquise Brown, who may have been one of the people out in a route right there. They have been examining the top of his left foot, really putting their thumb in some of those fragile bones along the top of that foot. They've decided to put his shoe back on. They've taped over the top of his shoe, and he's trying to test out that left foot right now on the sidelines.
Oh, he was bothered by an ankle and foot earlier in the season, came back the last couple of weeks 100% healthy, but it'll be a big blow for Oklahoma.
Clearly grimacing as we had the shot of him a moment ago. C.D. Lamb, capable big play maker, shoved out by Devontae Davis. Here's third down. And about 5 for Oklahoma. They are in field goal range to take the lead, and Marquise Brown showing no signs of coming back in the game soon.
Well, he's such a start and stop, make you miss kind of guy that any kind of lower leg or foot injury like that could be really debilitating for a guy with his skill set.
Injured his ankle against TCU October 20th. Next 3 games averaged just 46 yards per game receiving, but the last 3 he's averaged 150 yards receiving per game as the ankle got better.
They need to reset the 25-second clock. Now, are they going to charge a timeout to Oklahoma?
Indeed. One of the best receivers in the country. Looking like he'll watch the rest of this conference title game. 3rd down and 5. Play clock down to 1 again. They blitz and didn't get close, and it's a first down. It's Charleston Rambo who's in because Brown is not. Just his 5th catch of the season for the redshirt freshman out of Cedar Hill, Texas.
Kind of a double crossing route inside. Rambo did a nice job of getting separation from Chris Boyd, and Murray found him with the football.
In terms of time, a very long drive by Oklahoma standards. More than 4 minutes now. Working their way up the field. Nothing doing there for Kennedy Brooks. Chopped down by Chris Nelson. Veteran in the middle of that defensive line. His 28th career start for a senior from Lakeland, Florida.
Chris Nelson did a nice job of beating the freshman center, Creed Humphrey, on that play. Stout guy in the middle of that Texas defense.
Personal center coach will help Creed work on that in the days ahead.
We'll have that one filmed up. Boy.
Blitz again. Murray danced ahead to the 15, perhaps even the 14-yard line. Nelson in on the play again with Anthony Wheeler.
Officials timeout for an injured player. Defense.
There's the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship Trophy. It'll be presented to the winner of this game. You're watching the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship on ABC. Presented by Jared. It's Dr. Pepper Championship Week. And it's off to a great start here in Arlington, Texas, with Oklahoma and Texas tied at 27 early in the fourth quarter, and the Sooners on the move.
For the Hart.
They're bringing that maybe for Marquise Brown. The guy that Texas needs to step up here in what could be one of the biggest 3rd down plays of the ball game. Charles Omenihu The defensive lineman of the year in the Big 12 Conference. Been pretty quiet so far today against this outstanding offensive line.
Another blitz from Texas, and Murray's pass behind C.D. Lamb with Devontae Davis in single coverage. 4th down, and the field goal team comes on for Oklahoma.
Chris Nelson, number 97, did a nice job. He wasn't going to get to the quarterback, but he jumped and raised his hand, and that little bit got in the vision of Kyler Murray, and the pass was thrown behind his intended receiver.
Seibert, one of the great kickers in the country. For the lead from 31 off the left upright and through.
We've seen one hit the crossbar, and we've seen something hit the upright. Seibert knocks it through. That looked like he was going to hook away for sure.
Wow, sure did. Got the inside of the left upright. Actually, it looked like it was hooking and then faded back.
It did.
For Gonzalez, Seibert has a chance at that one before he's done.
I think this is one of the best things this guy does. The percentage that he kicks it out of the end zone is outstanding.
Struggled in 4th quarters this year. They've been outscored by 67 points. Some of that was in the meeting in the Cotton Bowl when Oklahoma rallied from 21 down to tie it in the 4th quarter with 3 late touchdowns. The Horns won on the last-second field goal. Sam Ehlinger out of time, threw it away.
Late flag right in the middle of the field. I think it might be an illegal man downfield for Texas. The center, Kyle Shackelford, looked like he had worked his way too far down the field. See what they call.
There is no foul for an eligible downfield on the pass. The quarterback was legally grounding the ball. It's 2nd down.
Okay.
On 2nd and 10, Ehlinger, the design roll, threw way over the head of L.J. Humphrey. Here's Holly.
Well, Curtis Bolton, the 2nd leading tackler for this Sooner defense, is back out on the defense right now, which is important. They have been throwing liquids down him. I think he drank about 4 bottles of Gatorade. He's been putting tons of those chewable gummies of Gatorade into his mouth, so he's back out onto the field, and that's big for the Sooners.
He's back, and Neville Gallimore is back on this 3rd and 10 play for the Sooner defense. Can they get another critical stop at this juncture in the football game?
7 out of 11 on 3rd down. They converted on their first 3 to the Longhorns. Ehlinger lofts one for Johnson. And here come flags from all over the place as he got tangled up with Parnell Motley.
Now, it's not a high percentage throw, but when you have receivers this big and physical, it is a high percentage play.
Defense, number 11. That's a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. And automatic 1st down.
Parnell Motley he doesn't make any play on the football. He has no idea where the ball is, and as Johnson is trying to make a play on the football, he's impeded by Motley, and that's a clear pass interference penalty on 3rd and 10.
Johnson, by the way, has set the Big 12 title game record for receiving yards. He'll add to it. Johnson knocked out of bounds by Motley. Prior to that catch, he had 169 yards receiving. He's up to 177 in the game. The previous mark, Big 12 title game, 142 receiving yards by Malcolm Kelly for Oklahoma back in 2006. Trey Watson ahead for a 1st down and across midfield to the 48-yard line.
I think the other thing, if you're Tom Herman, if you're Tim Beck, you want to use clock here too. You're moving the football well. You've got the same amount of yardage as Oklahoma has, but you want to put a little more pressure on Kyler Murray and that Oklahoma offense by the number of chances they'll have left in the game.
Ellinger about to get hit as he throws. Johnson flailing around, won't get a flag thrown this time. Good pressure by Kenneth Mann on Sam Ellinger.
Yeah, he got a good hit on Sam Ellinger too as he released the football.
We spoke with Sam Ellinger last night, Tom Herman. They said the mantra all year long was finish. Last year, Texas lost 4 games that they had the lead in the fourth quarter. This year, they've played 9 one-possession games. They've won 6 of them. Trey Watson. Tom Herman told us throughout the offseason, with about 15 minutes to go, even if it was just a weightlifting session for the team, they'd stop, they'd bring everybody together, they hold up 4 fingers as if, okay, you're heading to the fourth quarter of this workout, let's finish.
Well, they're going to have that opportunity here. That was a beautiful play on second down by Neville Gallimore to stop that run and for little if no gain. And third down and long again. They converted on 3rd and 10 with the penalty a moment ago. 2 big receivers down to the bottom together.
Pressure. It's blocked. Ellinger throws. And the fans want a flag on Trey Norwood, who was wrapped around little Jordan Humphrey. There is no call.
Humphrey's in the slot, working on Norwood. He's going to run the out route. He got his jersey pulled. I don't know what is pass interference and what is not, because that looked like a lot of pulling and grabbing and fighting through the receiver on a 3rd down play. I think
that's clearly pass interference. He's wrapping Humphrey up with the ball still on the way. Ryan Buchevsky on the punt.
That's going to be a penalty. Could be. Yep,
yes.
There it is.
Fair catch signal made by C.D. Lamb, and Josh Thompson hit him.
Well,
how about last night?
Catch interference by the kicking team, number 9. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down. Timeout.
We'll talk more about it when we come back. 10. Sean McDonough, Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe. It's the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship. 10.5 minutes to go. Oklahoma the ball at a 3-point lead, trying to win the Big 12 for the 4th year in a row. Texas trying to win the conference crown for the first time since 2009. Well, the penalty against Texas, the Longhorns' 12th of the game for 118 yards, brings the ball out to the 20-yard line. Kennedy Brooks, the running back. Longhorns showing blitz and trying to bring 5. Well blocked, and Kennedy Brooks chopped down. P.J. Locke, the senior out of Beaumont, Texas, stalwart for this Longhorn team, his 40th career start.
Very physical, plays that nickelback position. One of the most physical guys on this team.
Will graduate in a couple of weeks. 3.5 years. Good throw and catch. Grant Calcaterra. First down, 33-yard line. Kyler Murray on target.
The arm strength. This is from the left hash, throwing it deep out to the right sideline. The guy can make every throw that you'd want a quarterback to make. Very impressive arm.
It could be he has just 1 more football game left. He hopes he has 2 more left in the college football playoff, but it was reiterated earlier this week, intention to go play baseball as a first-round pick of the Oakland A's when this football season is over. Kennedy Brooks yanked back after he crossed the 35. Anthony Wheeler, the nickel.
Both teams have done a great job of taking care of the football. Texas had the 1 football by Trey Watson that fumbled out of bounds, but neither team with a turnover.
Murray again on target. C.D. Lamb ran away from Devontae Davis, who looked a little wiped out. Is he trying to make the tackle? C.D. Lamb belted from behind, lost the ball. It got knocked out, and Texas has recovered. That ball's well on its way out.
Ball is out. What a hustle play by Gary Johnson, chasing from behind.
Texas from its own 8-yard line. Deontay Ingram yanked down immediately by Kenneth Mann. And Todd, a long way to go in this one, but questions about the Oklahoma defense. Some wondering, is it worthy of even being included in the 14 playoff? They're making a significant statement today.
Absolutely. This is a much different looking defense than the one we watched last week at Morgantown. A lot of negative yardage plays. They've been more stout against the run. That's a heck of a play on first down by Kenneth Mann for negative yardage.
Play fake. Ellinger knocked down for a safety. Trey Brown came out of blitz, and Ellinger never saw him.
They call this a cat blitz, a corner blitz from the short side of the field. Ellinger has his receivers to the left. He is not anticipating blitz at all. It's going to come right from here, and Sam never sees it, but he feels it when it's too late.
CeeDee Lamb a fumble when it looked like he might run for a touchdown. It was the first turnover of the game. But the defense for Oklahoma bails them out. Corner blitz from Trey Brown, and Lamb relieved. The defense got him off the hook. Free kick from the 20. Put it on a tee with Cameron Dicker. It's a good boot. Driving Trey Brown, the safety, all the way back near the 10. And he gets swung down at the 35-yard line by B.J. Foster. Yards are slightly above average for him. The rushing numbers down. Here's Trey Sermon. Starting to see some tired-looking Texas defenders. Brandon Jones got him down.
Beautiful block by the right tackle, Cody Ford, blocking on Breckenhager. Just opened up a massive hole that time for Trey Sermon. Sermon's not a guy that's going to make you miss very much. He's a pretty physical runner. A lot of green grass in front of him on that play.
Clearly healthier than he's been. He's had more carries today for Oklahoma, 13 than anybody else. After just 6 carries total the previous 2 games. They give it to him again. He weaves for a first down. And I know they like to go fast, Todd, but if you're Oklahoma, you're a little bit slower in the operation midway through the 4th quarter.
Absolutely. I think you can see that. I think you can see that right now. Lincoln Riley's saying, let's be a little bit more methodical. We still want to score. We want to make this a 2-score game, but let's take as much time as we can to make that happen.
Sermon again up the middle. Charles Omenihu, the tackle at the 49-yard line. 3 yards for Oklahoma. The clock goes under. 7 minutes remaining in this Dr. Pepper Big 12 championship game.
They're letting that play clock go down under 10 seconds each time. Very smart clock management right now by Oklahoma.
Particularly smart if they get 1 more score. Field goal would make it 8. Texas would have to get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Obviously, a touchdown makes it a 2-score game, and Texas would be in a heap of trouble. Big 3rd down call here. After the carry by Trey Sermon, Lincoln Riley sends in the 3rd down and 6 play.
And you got to be alert for a run by Kyler Murray. Remember, no Marquise Brown anymore. CeeDee Lamb is your primary target up here. And Calcaterra not in the game right now.
Play clock at 5. Texas blitzes. Murray gets it off. Open receiver. First down. Lee Morris, the former walk-on, high school teammate of Kyler Murray, just just down the road in Allen, Texas.
Beautiful read. He sees blitz. He's got single coverage. It's out of his hands. Too quick for any pressure to get to him. One-on-one with the free safety, B.J. Foster, who is in there because of the injury to Caden Stearns. And Oklahoma moves the chains. Beautiful read that time by Kyler Murray on third down.
Stearns on crutches on the Longhorn sideline. 17-yard play on 3rd and 6. Sermon trying to get outside. Yanked down by Chris Boyd. Flag down for a horse collar.
And there's also a flag in the area where you would think offensive holding as well. So 2 flags on the field. I think they'll be 1 penalty against each team.
There are fouls by both teams. Holding, offense number 72. Personal foul, horse collar tackle. Defense number 2. Those fouls will offset. Replay, first down.
This has been a tough game for Chris Boyd in the penalty department. Didn't hear who they called the holding. Oh, 72, Ben Powers. And then there's the horse collar at the end by Chris Boyd.
So it's 1st and 10 again. The clock moving, under 5 minutes to go. A blitz, and they ran into the side from which the blitz came. Texas didn't wrap up. And the blitzer, B.J. Foster, actually wound up being involved in the tackle at the line of scrimmage on Trey Sermon.
I don't think you can play off coverage on these wide receivers. I think you got to get up and press them if you're Texas, because if it's off and you try to pressure Kyler Murray, he's going to get that ball out quick. He may not throw on this second down play, but if you play off on their wide receivers, he can get the ball there in a hurry for completions.
Murray leading the play clock down to 4. Pump fake and a run for about 2. Another mammoth third down here with 4 minutes to go. Gerald Wilbon made the tackle with help from Gary Johnson. Marquise Brown with crutches back on the Oklahoma sideline.
This is the down I think you have to get up and get a little pressure, get some hands on receivers. 3rd down and 9.
Texas brought a blitz a moment ago on 3rd and 6. And it was an easy completion for Oklahoma. See how Todd Orlando plays this 3rd down and 9. 3.5 to go. Murray under pressure. Man open again. It's Lee Morris again. They won 3 state titles together in this building. And they might be nearing a conference title today.
Outstanding work by Kyle Murray. Just feeling the pocket, collapsing, stepping up, and just flicking that ball for the completion to Morris. So nifty in the pocket. Good hit by B.J. Foster, and Morris holds on to the football for a huge first down.
Morris, Murray, Bobby Evans, the left tackle, all teammates at Allen High School on those state championship teams. Kyler Murray went 5-0 here at AT&T Stadium in high school, including wins in 3 championship games. And if you're Texas, Todd, I think you have to start thinking about timeouts. Kennedy Brooks, the ball carrier. No timeout yet from Tom Herman. He has all 3 of them left.
So impressed with Kyler Murray, his work in the pocket. You know, a guy who can run that well, you'd think he'd take off and run all the time, but he moves in the pocket with the idea of throwing the football. He runs when he needs to run, and he runs when it's a designed quarterback run. But he stays in there and moves to throw, and did it beautifully on that 3rd down play.
2nd and 7.
Now there might be a timeout.
Sermon. There's a timeout. Texas fans hollering toward Tom Herman to use the timeout, and he does with 2:04 to go. Back at the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship, Oklahoma leading by 5. And here's today's Dr. Pepper Spotlight.
Well, the spotlight is on Kyler Murray, who started slowly 4 for 9, but has really picked it up. Beautiful use of his eyes. We've seen this a lot today, moving the safety, holding the safety where he was, comes back with a nice touchdown pass to CeeDee Lamb. Here's another one to Calcaterra. What I like about this is his ability to just stay alive in the pocket, and he has quick feet, but he also has quick eyes. He sees what he wants to see, and this was the 3rd down play just a bit ago to Morris for a huge conversion. Kyler Murray sitting right now at 361 yards and 2 touchdowns thrown.
Lee Morris, his old high school buddy, didn't have a catch all day. He's had catches on 2 big 3rd downs. Where will they go on this one? 3rd down and 10. 2 timeouts for Texas. Oklahoma by 5. Murray lofts one up for Calcaterra. What a catch! With the defender on him. It looked like he snared it with one hand. Brad Calcaterra with 2 minutes to go.
They decided to press on the outside.
Touchdown is confirmed.
Calcaterra working on B.J. Foster, and it was a one-handed catch from a beautiful throw by Kyler Murray. The touch throw to the outside shoulder, the one-handed catch on 3rd and 10. That is beautiful
The
work.
result of the play is a touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense, number 80. That's his first. That 15-yard foul will be enforced on the ensuing kickoff. Try for point.
He spiked the football.
What a drive, a championship drive, it seems, for Oklahoma. They held the ball for 6 minutes and 19 seconds, 11 plays, and barring something remarkable in the last 2 minutes, they'll be the Big 12 champions for the 4th year in a row, and quite possibly on their way to the college football playoff. A lot to be determined elsewhere on this championship Saturday. They were 3 for 3 on 3rd down on the drive, including this one. Murray to Calcaterra. A big stage there for Darrell Henderson, as the graphic said, Doak Award finalist, Doak Walker Award finalist for the best running back in the country. There are 3 finalists: Jonathan Taylor of Wisconsin, Travis Etienne of Clemson, the others. So a chance for Henderson to impress the voters who haven't voted for the Doak Walker yet. There's little Jordan Humphrey. Little Jordan Humphrey. There's a flag down back at the 30-yard line. It's a touchdown if it stands.
During the return, holding, receiving team, number 29. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Josh Thompson called for a crushing penalty for Texas.
Oh, right there in the middle of the frame, number 29. There's the left hand grabbing jersey and maybe even face mask on the return. Little Jordan Humphrey, touchdown taken off the board, and for Texas, 12 penalties, 118 yards.
That'll be the 13th, I believe.
13th,
I don't think they've put that on the stats monitor yet.
What a crusher. You know, and Oklahoma a little bit lax on their coverage because they're so used to Cyber kicking it out of the end zone. There was nobody even around little Jordan Humphrey.
The ball back on the 20. Kickoff return touchdown wiped out. Ehlinger over the middle. Devin Duvernay, he can fly. He gets them all the way out to midfield. They're not a big play offense. They haven't had a play from scrimmage of over 50 yards all season long.
Yeah, they're not really built to play come from behind necessarily either. That's just in a difficult situation right now.
2 timeouts for Texas. Ellinger on target. Little Jordan Humphrey a yard short of the first down, shoved out by Caleb Kelly at the 43-yard line of Oklahoma.
Before those 2 plays, which were both first down plays, the difference in this game has been the Oklahoma defense on first down. In the first half, Texas averaged over 7 yards a play. In the second half, under 2 yards until this last possession. That has been a huge change for this Sooner defense in the ball game.
Ellinger had a wall in front of him, circled back to get away, incomplete pass for Johnson. And you think back to last week too, Todd, the game for Oklahoma at West Virginia, one they absolutely had to have. They didn't win that game. They weren't even going to be in this game, right? And the Oklahoma defense, much criticized, deservedly so for a lot of reasons, scored 2 defensive touchdowns in a 3-point win.
Right.
And today, the safety, an enormous play for the defense.
Absolutely. And they've had plays like that over the last half of the season.
Ellinger on 3rd and 1. The first down to the 40. Kenneth Mann, the tackle. Time running out on this Texas Longhorn team. 1:15 to go. Needing 2 scores on target. Jerron Hurd, the former quarterback, with his first catch of the day, just his 12th of the season, senior from Denton, Texas.
Nice read by Sam Ellinger. 2 deep safeties. The middle of the field is open, and Hurd was able to exploit that opening.
Ellinger to the end zone. Johnson, who's had a record-setting day, couldn't hang on to that one.
They've given him a lot of opportunities on plays like that. He's used his big body. I think he's become an even better and more physical receiver in the second half of the season. And he has had an outstanding ball game tonight.
For a great family, his dad, Johnny Johnson, was an All-American defensive back at Texas in the late 70s. Played 10 seasons for the Rams. He's in the College Football Hall of Fame. From the 19, they've been in the red zone 3 times previously with 3 touchdowns. And that one is intercepted. A game-sealing play off the ricochet. Trey Norwood wraps up the Big 12 championship for Oklahoma for the 4th year in a row.
Obviously, a little bit of a miscommunication between Sam Ellinger and Lil Jordan Humphrey. Watch as Humphrey goes out to the outside. The ball's thrown to the sideline. He's moving in. The ball was tipped by Motley and intercepted by Norwood. And another critical stop by this Oklahoma defense should just about do it.
When you have an offense, as Oklahoma does, you have to do just enough.
That's it.
And that's what they did last week. More than enough. Murray dancing around, just killing time. Now takes the knee. And on a day where we said for a lot of the day, Oklahoma seemed to struggle on offense, particularly early in the game. 511 yards of offense.
Right.
That means every conference game they played this year, 9 regular season and the conference title, they had 500 yards of offense. Tears in the eyes of Lincoln Riley, it seemed. They were the first team in the history of college football to have 500 yards of offense in each of 9 regular season games. Oklahoma, the first Power 5 team to win 4 straight conference titles since the Florida teams of the mid-90s, 93 to 96. First Oklahoma team to do it since the mid-80s under Barry Switzer. And I think, Todd, if Georgia loses to Alabama tonight, Oklahoma's in.
They were, I think so too.
Slotted at number 5 by the committee this week. They certainly didn't do anything, in my judgment, that would require somebody would leap over them because they weren't good enough today. Here's Holly Rowe.
Well, Coach, all week long, the focus has been trying to do something no team in history has ever done in the Big 12. 4 straight championships. What are you most proud of this group?
Hard to say.
I'm so proud of our guys. Texas was a great team, great battle with them, both of them this year. But we're the champs, and it feels darn good.
Your quarterback, again, you put the trust in him on 2 crucial third downs, and he finds old high school teammates to make those plays. Why do you trust Kyler Murray like you do?
It's what he's done all year. He's had to make big plays in big games. He's had to make plays for us every single week for us to win. And the guy's done it at elite level. He's the best player in the country. I think America saw that right here.
Coach, this may not be the right moment, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Why does this team deserve to keep playing college football?
Because of what you saw today. It's a 12-win team. Team that's just still getting better and better. Our defense played their tails off today. Our best ball's ahead of us. We can't wait for what's next.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Emotional Lincoln Riley, appreciative of what his team accomplished. Player Spotlight is brought to you by Cognizant. And Murray, his coach, making the last-ditch pitch for his quarterback for the Heisman. 379 passing. C.D. Lamb, a big day receiving. Murray threw 3 touchdowns. He also ran for 39 yards. And Texas, if Oklahoma does go into the college football playoff, there's a lot to be determined yet. Texas probably in the Sugar Bowl. They will be in the Sugar Bowl to fill the Big 12 spot. So a big game ahead for Texas. Bob Wischusen and Brock Hurd are in Orlando for the American, coming up right after these messages. So long from Arlington.